guys, welcome if you are new here. My name is Hetty and on this channel we talk about everything positive and high vibes. If you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button and turn on your notifications to see more videos. I post a few times a week, so there's plenty out there for you to have a look at. Today's video is going to be all about the magic of detachment. So I think this is really important for manifesting your heart's true desires, all of your wants, your wishes. When we detach from them, we allow them in so much quicker. So if you keep watching, you will see how this is beneficial to you and how this will improve your life. So when I say detachment, I mean letting go of the attachment to the outcome of a certain situation. So it could be anything based around a certain relationship you want. It could be based around a certain job you want. Maybe you've applied for the job. It could be around a certain house you want. It could literally be around anything that you desire or want to see in your life. So usually we hold on to how something's going to turn out. We attach ourselves to the outcome of a situation. We might even run through step by step in our head of how we would like to get from the point of where we are right now to that exact manifestation that we want, and that is attaching ourselves to that whole process and that final manifestation. It implies that we are insecure, it implies that we are fearful, and that we doubt that that will come around, because being attached means that you will be disappointed if what you want doesn't come around, or doesn't come around in the steps that you want it to happen in. By being detached, it gives us the freedom, it gives us that security actually around knowing that whatever we want to manifest will manifest, by trusting in ourselves, our own guidance systems, and that of the universe as well, the signs and synchronicities that we see. So being detached is all about creating a more positive and stress-free life as well. It means that regardless of whether what you want happens or not, or whether it happens in the way you want it to or not, you are happy either way. You are not placing your happiness, your feelings on a conditionality of something turning out. You are not attaching yourself to that condition of that relationship manifesting, that house manifesting, that job manifesting. And I use all these examples all the time, but they're the most common ones of our wants and desires around jobs, material objects, and people and relationships in particular. So it's literally around anything, and when we attach ourselves to it, we set ourselves up for disappointment and often failure, or we set ourselves up to feel less than happy than we thought we would feel. But when we detach ourselves, it doesn't imply that we are cold-hearted or that we don't care and that we don't have the interest of other people's feelings involved. It just means that you don't have to be attached to that person or that thing anymore, because you know that with or without them in your life, you can continue to be happy. It doesn't mean that you don't care if they're around or not, but it does mean that you are creating that space that you are in control of your own thoughts and feelings. So it's a great example of if you're in a relationship or if you live with family. When them people aren't around, if you attach yourselves to them so much, when they're not around you, you can tend to feel quite down. You can tend to feel like, okay, I'm not very happy because these certain people aren't around me, or these certain things aren't around me. So it might be that you have a huge attachment to your job. You might have a very poor work-life balance. You're very attached to your job and how that makes you feel. Maybe it makes you feel really successful and powerful. When you're not at that job, or when you don't have that job anymore, or when that person isn't around anymore, so they might not be around for the day, or they might go on holiday, or they might pass away and you don't have that person in your life anymore. If you've based all your attachment and your feeling and need for them to be around to be happy, then that is where you are going to start feeling the disappointment and lack of it in your life. So by embracing detachment, we also embrace the unknown, the uncertain, which can sound scary, but when you do this, it opens you up to a field of possibilities, to a wealth of experience and just opportunities basically that you may not see if you're attached to something happening in a particular way. So you might say, okay, I really want a job in marketing, and you're like, right, and you're very attached to the outcome. You're like, right, I have to get this job in marketing. If it doesn't turn out this way, if I don't get that job, then I'm going to be really disappointed. I'm not going to be happy. It has to turn out that way. It really, 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 really needs to. I'm so attached to it. I'm so attached to that outcome. That limits you from any other possibility that you could be opened up to, basically. So when you detach yourself from that, you can still have the desire, perfectly natural to have that desire. You can still say, I would really love the job in marketing, and I trust that it's going to come out because I have that intention behind, that positive intention, desire to truly have that in my life. But I'm just going to detach myself from the outcome. If it happens or not, right now where I am in this present moment, I'm still okay with that. I'm still happy in myself, in everything that I have, and I don't need to attach myself to the outcome. The universe will actually bring you around so many more possibilities of where maybe before you were very narrowly focused and attached on something. When you detach, you open up your eyes to so many possibilities and opportunities, and even to things that may seem like setbacks or failures at the time. You actually don't fail in anything. You can only get better at it. It is just a lesson to grow. So it opens up your eyes to a whole wealth of possibilities and a whole new world. Oh god, that just reminded me of Aladdin. But yeah, it opens you up to a whole new world. Picture Aladdin and Jasmine riding around on that carpet, free, a whole new world. They weren't attached to how things turned out. They just knew they were going to be together and it was going to work out. So that is what detachment is all about. It's actually so important to ground ourselves in uncertainty, to welcome it into our lives, to say, I welcome and accept the unknown. Imagine if we knew every single thing that was going to unfold on our life path from now until the day we die. It would be so boring, I guarantee you. Imagine if someone said, okay, so tomorrow you're going to get offered a new job, then in 2 years' time you're going to be fired from that job. 2 years later, you're going to get married. A year after that, you're going to have kids. Tomorrow, then you're going to go to the shops, do shopping, do it. Everything was planned out for you. What's the point? There would be no point in being here. The whole point of us being here is to grow, is to live our lives in that uncertainty, to trust that what we want will come about, because that's all of the reason for our experience here, to experience this physical reality exactly how we want to experience it. So very common attachment that people have is to money, and actually the more you are attached to money, it means the more insecure you are around that subject. So a lot of people with so much money are very attached to it because they have so much fear and worry that it's going to be lost. But actually people with the smallest amounts of money, they don't have that fear or worry around it. They aren't attached to it, and when they just, they live life, they live an abundant life in every other way. They don't have to have the attachment to money. So an example of that, something that I actually recently watched on YouTube, was the Paris Hilton documentary. So she actually said at some point in that documentary that she thought her life would be complete and she would finally be happy when she first earned her first $100 million, I think it was. And then she got to that point and she did say, I just thought, no, I kind of want to move up from there. Like, I wasn't happy when I got to that point. I was happy for a bit, but then I was like, well, I want the next thing. And the next goal from that was to make her first $1 billion. So she has based her attachment and the outcome on her happiness on that $1 billion now. So she even reached her first goal and she still wasn't happy because she'd attached the insecurity around that, and it will never stop when you have that attachment. The insecurity will never go when you get that certain amount of money. It will only increase the more money you get if you have that attachment. So when you detach yourself from it, you allow a wealth of possibilities to come into your life. Attachment is very much a holding on to the known, what we know, which is our past. We only know what is in our past. We only know what we have experienced, what we have seen others experience in the past. And by attaching ourselves to the past and the known, there is no room of growth in the past. We don't grow backwards. We don't grow into the past. We are not Benjamin Button. We evolve forward, so we need to let go of the attachment to what we know. It's scary sometimes to think, okay, well, maybe I just won't know anything then. Like, what do I do day to day? Just sit there and just let everything happen to me. It's not about that. You can still have your desires and wants and intentions that you want to manifest, but you're not attached. You're not basing your happiness or your life on those things turning out for you. And everything that I have learned around this is very paradoxical, actually. So it feels like you're saying the less you care, the more you will have it. The less you are attached to it, the more it will come into your life. So it is very much that the more you let it go, you can still have the positive intention behind it, but you don't need to be attached to the outcome. You can say, oh, it'd be lovely if that would happen, but doesn't matter either way. I'm not really attached to it. I have so many wonderful things. I am wonderful and I'm able to bring anything I want into my life. I trust it. I feel secure already. I feel grounded in the uncertainty of what is coming. I feel excited and thrilled for what is going to unfold in my life. That is just the excitement for me every single day. That I think every moment even that unfolds in my life, I think, okay, you obviously have plans out to do things. So for example, I'm getting my nails done later, so I can't wait. So I know I'm going to go and get my nails done, but I don't know what's going to unfold on the way there. I don't know, maybe I'll bump into someone on the way there. Maybe something amazing will happen when I'm there. I don't know what conversation I'm going to have when I'm there. I don't know what's going to happen when I come back. I don't know what I'm going to do this evening. And I like that. I like that uncertainty now. I used to be very stuck in having to have plans, having to have that control. And the more control I wanted, the more attached I was to what plans I had in the future. The more stressful they were, the less they actually turned out to work out. So you're allowed to have those things in place for planning, but just don't be attached to them. For example, if you have maybe you are planning to go out at the weekend with your partner or your friends, and you're like, great, okay, like I'm attaching all my like week's worth of happiness, like I can get through this week because I'm putting so much attachment on like that night out and that was going out and that'll be so good. And then it gets to the day or the night before and it's like, sorry, everyone's like, sorry, I can't do it, I cancelled, I'm ill, or the place you're gonna go is closed, or you go back into lockdown and you can't go. That attachment to it will then just create disappointment and sadness, because then you'll be like, oh, I based all my attachment, all of my wants and everything on that one thing. But if you had let go of that and said, oh, I'm so looking forward to going out with everyone on Saturday, and then things happened and it turned out that you couldn't go anymore, then when you just say, okay, well, yeah, that's fine, what a shame, it'll happen again, we can do it some other time, I guarantee some other plans will come about and you'll be like, actually, kind of worked out better, I'm so glad I didn't go there because I enjoyed doing this instead. I enjoyed just chilling with my friends, or I enjoyed going to the cinema instead with somebody else. So it all happens for a reason. Everything is being laid out. The less detachment you have to it, the better. You're not being cold-hearted or selfish or mean in any way. You just don't have to have the attachment to it anymore. So I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you have, please give me a thumbs up and a subscribe. Hit the notification button as well so you can see when I post more content. And until next time, let go of all the attachment to any outcome you have. Allow it to come naturally into your life and keep spreading the positive vibes and love, and I will see you soon.